This is a video about developing a growth mindset. I'll share how I developed a growth mindset that transformed my life and how you can do the same by developing or continuing to develop your growth mindset. And throughout this video, you're going to learn a few things. Number one, you're going to understand what a growth mindset is and its differences compared to a fixed mindset. You're going to learn the characteristics of a growth mindset, and we're going to look at the science as well, including neuroplasticity. We're going to learn about ways to cultivate a growth mindset and the benefits of having one. And then we're going to explore our identity through a growth mindset lens by asking ourselves two specific questions in our growth and personal development journey. Now, a growth mindset is the belief that our abilities can be enhanced through persistence and learning, which is unlike a fixed mindset that sees all our abilities as unchangeable. The growth mindset sees setbacks as growth opportunities rather than barriers to your success. And if you embrace this growth mindset concept, you will be able to unlock your full potential and become the greatest version of yourself. Mindset is everything. Change your mindset, change your life. Let's dive in. Understanding a growth mindset involves first knowing its origins and principles. Psychologist Carol Dweck, who did a lot of research on this subject, largely developed the growth mindset idea. Her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, discusses the impact of mindset on personal success and your overall well-being. And with a growth mindset, it believes in the evolution of intelligence and skill through dedication, education, and perseverance, which is much different than the fixed mindset, like I said before, that sees our traits as unchangeable. Now, Dweck's studies show that through this growth mindset, we are more likely to embrace challenges, persist through obstacles, and achieve success in some areas or all areas of our life. And a growth mindset also embodies a positive outlook on life. It learns from failures, it seeks feedback, and believes in the power of hard and smart work. And failures are not the end, but they provide valuable feedback, and that the setbacks that we experience are only temporary obstacles that we can overcome with a little grit, perseverance, more learning, and a change of action moving forward. So the choice is yours. Do you want to develop a growth mindset or maintain a fixed mindset? Now, I used to have a fixed mindset, believing my abilities were limited. I thought I couldn't excel in life due to multiple failures that I had. An injury ended my sports career, and my first attempts at entrepreneurship, well, they failed, leading to financial struggles, and I actually was homeless living in my car. And I believed that it just wasn't meant to be. However, I was really determined to change my life, and I knew I had to change something. I spent years changing my external environment, which led me to experience the same issues over and over again, just in different areas. Then I finally realized that it was me who had to change, and I had to change my mindset. So I began to question my beliefs. I read a ton of books that really warped my mind and started pushing me to developing this growth mindset. I had to, because otherwise I would just be stuck in the same areas and experiencing the same things over and over again that I was always experiencing. Now, the changes that we seek or seem stuck in just require a different mindset in order for us to break through that limit. And then I started to see challenges as opportunities for growth, and I really dove into changing how I see the world. And now, after like 7 years, I have reached many of the successes and goals that I set out to, and I've built my own little small business, and I continue to create this life that I love. It first started with changing me and my own mindset, moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset perspective. A growth mindset, it's open, it's adaptable, and it embraces change. It sees challenges as opportunities for growth and development. And persistence is key, understanding that success requires effort and continual perseverance. And in contrast, those fixed mindset perspectives, they avoid challenges, they fear failure, and they usually tend to stay and they prefer to stay in their comfort zone. So assess your mindset. If it's fixed right now, work towards developing a mindset for personal and professional growth. Really start to cultivate and understand what a growth mindset is so you can break through your own limits and you can reach new heights. So why is a growth mindset so powerful? Now, a growth mindset, I believe, unlocks your true potential, and it can lead to a massive improvement and positive changes in all areas of your life. And overall, it can enhance your happiness, your success, your well-being, and really just gives you a different outlook to look at the world, and then you'll experience the inner growth reflected on the outside world. But it starts with changing your mindset first. So with all that being said, I want to dive into the actual science behind a growth mindset. The growth mindset, backed by the science of neuroplasticity, which is fascinating, is an absolute game changer. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to adapt and evolve, stimulated by new experiences and learning. It creates new neural connections and strengthens existing ones to improve your brain function and your health. Now, consider your brain as a forest of trees. Also, these trees are called dendrites scientifically. Now, these trees can be modified. Unhealthy ones can be removed and healthy ones can be grown. Now, these dendrites can catch messages, and with learning, they grow more branches for better message reception. Now, myelin is the root of these trees, ensuring that smooth messages get passed from tree to tree, branch to branch. Learning not only grows more dendrite branches, but also can strengthen the roots, enhancing your learning capacity. With a growth mindset, the belief in continued growth and learning thus enriches your neurological forest. This mindset promoting neuroplasticity leads to tangible brain changes and impacts your life significantly, proving it's not just a belief that we all kind of just embrace or try to embrace, but it's actually a scientific proven concept. By understanding and leveraging the power of neuroplasticity through a growth mindset, you can continually evolve and improve throughout your whole life, no matter how old you are or where you are. It's absolutely incredible information that should give you so much power that you can change and develop a growth mindset to, in result, create a better life and create a life that you love. Now, with the understanding of neuroplasticity, I want to look at the role of challenges and failures in your growth. Challenges and failures are not obstacles to your growth, but rather they are essential components of the growth mindset journey and your life journey. They are going to happen. They're inevitable, and they will always show up somehow. I believe that all challenges are opportunities for you to break through a limit and to reach a new height. I also have a firm belief that there is no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. But with a growth mindset, all failures are just feedback for you to get better and for you to persevere forward. So let me explain how challenges and failures play a role in fostering your growth mindset. Building resilience is all about facing challenges and overcoming obstacles. In fact, this resilience and grit helps you bounce back from those setbacks and adapt to new situations that occur through your life. You develop problem-solving skills, you'll learn from your mistakes, and you'll become a stronger version of yourself for when those challenges come in the future. You'll be ready to tackle them head on and break through them. And eventually you'll start to love a good challenge because it helps you grow into who you are meant to become. Now, with setbacks, they're going to happen too. But with a growth mindset, you'll see these setbacks as temporary and you will use them as stepping stones towards greater success. You'll be able to analyze what went wrong, you'll be able to make the adjustments, and then you'll be able to keep moving forward with different actions to get a different result. And of course, the failures, they're not about your worth or ability. It's just about getting feedback so you can learn better. By reflecting on your failures, you can gain insight to where it went wrong and develop strategies for improvement moving forward. And then as you keep moving forward, you'll become a better version of yourself. You'll break through that limit. And of course, you will reach a new height. So now that we have all that, the next thing I want to dive into is the characteristics of a growth mindset. Here are 5 characteristics that I want to share with you. Number 1, you become a lifelong learner. You embrace lifelong learning and be open to gaining new skills and new knowledge throughout the rest of your life. And number 2, you learn from your mistakes. You see mistakes as learning opportunities, using them only to gain insight and improve. And number 3, you'll develop your abilities and your skills. Believe in the potential to improve your intelligence and skills through practice, effort, and persistence, and a little bit of grit too. And never quit, because everything is hard before it is easy, like Alex Hormozi says. So build that grit and keep moving forward. And number 4, you'll start to seek knowledge. You won't fear asking questions or admitting that you don't know or your ignorance. So you continually seek to understand by asking questions in order for you to improve and to get better. And lastly, you embrace challenges. You'll step out of your comfort zone, you'll see challenges as those growth opportunities, and you'll be able to take a little bit better calculated risks, knowing that if you fail, you're only going to get feedback so that you can adjust, you can learn from it, and then you can move forward with different actions to hopefully continue result in the outcomes that you're striving to have. Now, adopting these characteristics can foster all aspects of your life, from your personal life to your relationships to even your professional growth. Developing that growth mindset applies to all areas of your life, and it can enhance your life in great ways. So now with the characteristics, we got science, neuroplasticity, we understand what a growth mindset is compared to a fixed mindset. Now I want to dive into actual strategies that can help you implement a growth mindset in your own daily life. And to grow and develop a growth mindset, personally, I do these things and I follow these types of strategies. Number 1, skill development. I engage in challenging activities that require new skills. I'm open to learning and I'm open to new knowledge all the time. And number 2, I embrace failure. I view failure as a learning opportunity. I analyze what went wrong, and of course, I make those adjustments to move forward into future success or future feedback. Number 3, which is very important, is to surround myself with growth-minded individuals. I find inspiration from them, motivation, I get a lot of feedback. And if you get into a room where there's a lot of people who are much more successful than you, that's number one, a great room to be in. But number two, it gives you the opportunity to really see how much you can learn and get feedback from them to help you grow in your personal development process, or really any process that you have that you're trying to become greater in. But being around those types of individuals makes a huge difference. Your conversations are different. You'll start to see what you talk about is much different than people who really have a fixed mindset or people who focus on the negative things of life. The opportunity to be around other growth-minded individuals makes a huge difference in your life. The next strategy I do is I practice self-reflection and self-awareness. Now, this is huge for me. I reflect a lot on my thoughts and my behaviors, and I become aware of any fixed mindset tendencies or perspectives, and then I actively look at how to shift those to a growth mindset perspective. Now, I try to do this on a daily basis, but I really make a full quarter of the year to where it is to where I really dive in deep to who I have been being and what I have been doing, and is it giving me the results that I want in life? And if it's not, I work to change those thoughts, to change that fixed mindset things that are keeping me stuck, and develop that growth mindset so I can keep becoming the greatest version of myself. And lastly, the thing I do is I set goals and I track my progress. Now, I set specific measurable goals that are aligned with my growth and track my progress along the way. And of course, I have to celebrate the small victories, because as we've learned, that it's the small little wins that you keep achieving that feeds your brain more and more positivity and positive feedback that gives you that grit that you can keep moving forward, and you know that you're growing and going in the right direction. Now, these strategies have been instrumental in developing my growth mindset and continually help me become a greater version of myself. And with that, I want to dive into now some mindfulness and self-awareness exercises that can help as well. Now, developing a growth mindset hinges on your self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the most important skills that you can learn and develop over time. Mindfulness and self-awareness exercises are really crucial in this whole growth mindset development. These practices help identify strengths and weaknesses, because we all have them, and they're very important in your life's progress. So here are some exercises that I do for cultivating my own mindfulness and my self-awareness. Number one, meditation. Now, this practice slows down thoughts. It fosters mindfulness and helps you with your self-awareness. It involves focusing on the breath and releasing the negative thoughts and letting go of just attachments to what you want in life. It really allows you to come back to your center, be present in the moment, and then able to look at everything, your thoughts, your actions, and be able to let go of things and look at your thoughts without judgment. It's a huge, huge thing in developing mindfulness and your self-awareness so that you can become greater. The second thing I did for a really long time was journaling. Now, writing down your thoughts and your feelings and your experiences allows for you to have this detached reflection. It's a tool for turning those negative thoughts and rewriting them into positive thoughts. Now, this is huge in the growth mindset journey, because if you're able to look at something from a detached perspective, which is really, really big, it's no longer in your mind, it's on paper. And so you can look at it and you can see, how is this affecting my life? What actions or what results am I not getting, or what's showing up in my life because this is the thoughts that I'm letting run my brain, run my mind, run my life. And with those, the best practice is just to rewrite them in a growth mindset perspective in a positive way. And doing that small process right there makes a huge difference in helping you become more self-aware and developing more of a mindful approach. The next thing I do is called a gratitude practice. Gratitude is amazing. It's a daily routine expressing gratitude shifts forward for focusing on positivity and it allows you to start and end your day on the right note. Now, each morning I wake up, my feet hit the ground, right foot, thank you, left foot, or right foot, thank, left foot, you, thank you. And then each night before I go to sleep, I thank God for my wife, for my son Cash, and for our home. And then of course, a lot of other things. It's the most simple things that you can be thankful for. You can be thankful for water. You can be thankful for the chair you're sitting in, the phone you're watching this on, or the computer. All the small things really help you build an immense amount of gratitude that then can overflow into your growth mindset and be able to see the world from a positive perspective. And the last two things I do, they kind of go hand in hand. It's mindful breathing and a body scan. Now, mindful breathing allows you to come back into the present moment. It can provide some deeper insights, and of course, it can really help you just fall asleep really fast. And with the mindful breathing, it allows you to also do a little body scan. So with what I do here is I lay on the ground at night, not in my bed because I'll fall asleep. And then I just do some deep breaths and really analyze my body. I go from my toes all the way up to my head, and I see what's really tight in my body. What am I feeling? Is there an injury that I'm dealing with? Or is just something that is really tight in there? And then I ask myself, what's causing this? Now, could just be from the gym, but a lot of us have a lot of internal trauma that we have never dealt with. And dealing with those, bringing those things up and diving deep into figuring out what causes that tightness that our body's holding on to because the body keeps the score. It allows you to really start to gain the awareness so that you can start to work on that. Maybe it's just a simple fix of just implementing some stretching, which I have been doing and it's been changing the game. Maybe it's a little bit more deeper where it's psychological and you need to get either some psychological help or go through some other therapy processes so you can break that down. But the mindfulness breathing and the body scan go hand in hand, and they are crucial in helping developing the growth mindset because you learn more about yourself. You learn that self-awareness. And if you want a really big sleep hack, do the mindfulness breathing and the body scan right before you go to bed. When I do this mindfulness breathing, not only am I looking at my body and releasing the tension in it, I am also vomiting my thoughts all over the ceiling. Doing this allows me to just be outside of my bed, of course, on the ground. So if I do fall asleep, it's not a deep sleep. I get up and get into bed. But it's just kind of like a brain vomit, a thought vomit. It gets it all out of you and then it kind of clears your mind, and then you'll find yourself probably falling asleep on the ground sometimes, but either you'll get up in a really deep theta state ready to drop into sleep very fast. It works for me every single night, and I fall asleep like that. Ask my wife, she knows. So by regularly practicing these exercises, they're going to boost your self-awareness, they're going to foster that growth mindset, and they're going to promote a positive aspect, more positivity in your life. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is called the mindset of becoming. These are the 2 questions. Now, moving forward, I always look to adopt a growth mindset. And each stage of my life requires a greater version of me. And if I'm in a difficult situation, it's important to understand that it's maybe not my fault, but it is my fault if I stay there. So the object is to understand what's happening in my subconscious patterns and be able to change those and optimize those patterns moving forward. So the way I do that is I ask myself 2 questions. Question number 1, who am I? Now, maybe you have asked yourself this question, who am I, when feeling a little bit lost in life. Answering this question provides a fixed identity that can confine you and label you. And as a result, you embrace both positive and negative aspects of this identity. Now, unconsciously, you are shaped into your identity from childhood to adulthood by external influences such as, your parents, the media, teachers, any other personal experiences, and things on the outside world. And then you become to believe that this is just the way I am. Now, the question, who am I, isn't necessarily a bad question, but it does have limitations. While it can reveal your current situation truthfully, it can also restrict your aspirations. Now, this question hinders you and your ability to transform and embrace a new life due to your existing attachments of the old identities of who you are and who you are not. Now, by altering the perception of who you are and letting go of the attachments that do not serve your highest calling or your greatest self, you can shape the person you wish to become. Now, the majorities of the I can'ts that you tell yourself are really just I won'ts. They seem like limitations because you are identified with the constrained version of yourself that resists certain actions. The object is to construct a life where you embody and become your greatest self. So the question then changes to, who am I becoming? Now, this question never has a defined answer. The answer is infinite and always evolving. It pushes your mind to always think about the person who you strive to become. And you start to realize that you are more than just a physical body, and your understanding of self grows significantly. You come to recognize yourself as an eternal being provided with this body and this mind to help guide you through life. Now, if you embrace this concept of transformation, the opportunities then become limitless. There's no more boundaries. There's no more constraints. You will begin to initiate a formation of a new identity, leading to a fresh new life experience. And this is why embracing the idea of a growth mindset is crucial, as it allows you to grow and evolve into your new self while manifesting a new life that you love. The career, the life, the relationship, or the physical appearance that you desire is already being lived by the person that you are meant to become. The acts of writing down your ideas, dreams, and goals is significant because they are already existing. You simply need to take the necessary actions and become the person who already has them and bring them into reality. Now is the time to let go of your old self. Build this growth mindset and take consistent actions forward so that you can build the life that you desire. I truly believe that everybody has a great purpose here, and if you continually strive to become the greatest version of yourself, what God wants to get into this world, that all the great things that He wants to get into this world, He usually chooses us to do that, and I believe that you are one of those individuals that can bring greatness through you into this world. Now, if you want to reinvent yourself and go a little bit deeper and transform your mind and become that greater version of yourself, make sure you check out the video, Reinvent Yourself, How to Reinvent Yourself in 6 months or less. Never quit, keep going. Thanks for watching. See you later.